So, as it turns out, my granddad was pretty big on home movies. Sorry, I'm in the basement right now, if y'all can hear that upstairs. I'm just taking a little break. My, uh, my aunts and uncles this year decided that they wanted to convert some of these old home movies into, they wanted to put them on DVDs. So that way, VHS tapes, they corrode over time. So, like, you lose the video quality. So I guess I'm converting all of them. Old VHS tapes into DVDs. It's got to be 40 hours of home movies. I mean, there's like 40 or 45 of these tapes, easy. I'm going to be honest, man, this has been kind of rough. Like, I don't think that sadness is the opposite of happiness. I think the two are probably pretty closely related. That, or maybe I've got some wires crossed. But I'm like, they convert in real time on this player that I'm using to switch them over. So you got to watch all these videos while they're converting. I mean, you don't have to. I'm got one going right now while I'm recording this. But man, I mean, these things are going all the way back to like 88, I think, was the earliest one that I've done so far. So I'm like seeing some of my aunts and uncles from way back then. I'm seeing my grandma and grandpa from back then. Like, I'm seeing like myself, like born, like my first Christmas. Like I said, it's kind of rough, man. Like, watching yourself grow up, that's one thing, but like, I'm sorry, I'm a little choked up. I mean, watching yourself grow up, that's kind of weird, obviously. That's a little disorienting. But, it's kind of fun watching, like, me and my sister joking around about ourselves when we were really little. But, like, watching my cousin Kenny and my grandpa, like, it's kind of like watching them die all over again. Like seeing my Uncle Andy before his stroke. Like hanging out with him actively now. And I mean, shit, I was 7 years old when he had a stroke. And he's been wheelchair bound ever since then. So like seeing him joking around with my Uncle Brent. They used to work together. Brent owned a grocery store and Andy managed the butcher. Or what do you call it, the deli? He was the butcher. Anyway. So like seeing them like joking around, palling around and stuff. I don't know, I wasn't really prepared for all this year. Like, I guess I didn't really know what I was signing up for. Like, I just said, like, my dad was like, well, we want to get these digital. Vince, like, can you help me get the stuff where we can convert all this to digital? And I was like, yeah, like, I know how to do that for sure. I can help. And so, like, I've kind of been shouldering this project since then. And, like, I remember, like, it was an episode of Black Mirror or one of those technological dystopia kind of shows or movies or whatever. And, like, the people can, like, push a button and, like, go back into a memory. Like, they're in it. And I remember, like, one of the characters saying, like, you can't spend all your time back there. It's not real. It's not real. And I'm kind of understanding where the writer was as they were writing this scene out. Because, like, you're right down the rabbit hole in these videos. Like, I watched 30 minutes. The video was completely destroyed, but the audio still worked, right? I listened for 30 minutes of my grandpa, like, I could hear his voice. I knew it was his voice, but you couldn't understand a word that he said. And I just sat there listening to it because, you know, when you're 5 or 6 years old, that's all you can understand an adult anyway. You know, you can hear their voice, but none of the words that they say. So, you know, I kept it. But, like, you can never go back. Like, the videos, that's just a not even a window. It's like a tiny hole that you can look through to, like, remember those things. It's kind of disorienting. And, like, you know, it's fun to watch home videos, like, you know, for an hour or two. You know, on Christmas, you pull up some old Christmas videos from when you were a kid. You know, what do you want for Christmas? I want a Megazord and I want Optimus Prime. So that way I can make them fight each other when Optimus Prime turns evil. So it's kind of, it's just a little weird watching them for freaking. I must have watched 20 hours of old home videos that my grandpa did, which is crazy because as much time as I spent talking to grandpa, as many memories as I have of him, I do not once remember him holding a camera. And I remember some of these videos because I watched them with my sister. That's kind of like a Christmas tradition. We'll watch old, you know, family home movies, Christmas 1998. Like, you know, we'll bust those out every time we're up here for Christmas. But I don't ever remember my grandpa taking these videos. I don't ever remember him holding a camera. So yeah, so this year for Christmas, we recorded a little bit of it. I was helping pass out Christmas presents, so I didn't get as much as I would have liked. But we're definitely bringing those back. You know, that's going to be something that we do every year. Do them old home movie style. All of us are grown now. There's only a couple young kids in our family anymore. That's my grandma's great grandkids, which kind of wild. But yeah, I know usually at the end of the episode I ask you guys, you know, like and share. You know, leave a Facebook comment about whatever. But no, don't even bother with any of that this time. Just
he ran away, didn't he?
You know, if you're still listening right now, don't even mess around with that. Just like call your mom or your sister. Call whatever family you got. And just make a plan to go see him. Just call him and tell him I want to see you. I want to see you soon. You know, are you doing anything next weekend? You know, I'm off. I'm off January 14th. Make a plan to go see your family, man, because that was the last thing I said to my grandpa. You know, he was in the hospital. And they said, like, you know, he's dying. He can't move, but he can hear you. So, say whatever you gotta say. So we all took turns. You know, there were a few of us there. So we all got our chance to speak to him in private. Last thing I said to him was, like, I thought I had more time. I thought I had more time. Anyway, thanks for listening.